All right, how's it going, everybody? This is Jake again, and I'm gonna go over this time the finals match. Um, Again, I'm glad you guys have been liking these and finding these super informative and enjoying my commentary over them, so I'm really glad to hear it. Um, all right, so going into this round, this is the first time that I knew what my opponent was playing before the round. Because I mean, by this point, we're the only two undefeateds, right? So we have an idea of what each other are playing. Also, I've talked to Min a lot this entire weekend. He's cool as fuck. It was the first time that I met him in person. Um, Great guy. I have nothing but good things to say about him, and it was a pleasure to being able to play with him in the finals. Oh yeah, they wanted to put out the fancy top cut mats for us to play on. Oh yeah, as a reminder, what's the speed I have this on? Let's make it 1.25. There we go. That's better. All right. So match is starting. And yeah, min one die roll. Milling one JD. That's nice. So until like a beckoning light or something like that, I'm figuring that, only one more JD to go, but obviously beckoning can happen at any time. So this is probably a Raikou plus, I'm figuring like a Roar or something. Um, I don't know how big of a trap lineup he plays. Heavy Storm? Okay. So the reason I set three here, you'll see in a bit, I have a very good play versus Heavy Storm here. So chaining Yada, chaining Compulse. Um, I actually go even on card advantage. So the thing is, I set Yada, Compulse, and Dust. I figured Dust can potentially out of back row if I want to, or a new set. Compulse is good defense for next turn, or for synchro plays, and yada yada yada, obviously. But yeah, the card advantage ended up being the same, and the Compulse sent back the tempo so basically Heavy Storm ended up going even with me, and we got rid of Aurora, so I didn't have a way around the Raikou, so we're going to force it off with the GB that we feel like we can afford to throw into Raikou. Didn't see all his mills there. I don't think that put him at four names. I think that put him at three. Let's see if he fans well enough again. I don't think he has four names. I think he has three. Hard to tell from the replay video. So we figured there's a chance that this is another Raikou again. I couldn't see that hand very clearly. I'm not sure if we had another GB in hand, but if we did and we don't have a chariot down, then I would not summon it and swing, because I don't want to lose my only GB in hand right now to Raikou. I most likely set another back row. One of the two is probably a good card to get hit by Raikou. It's a card that I don't mind getting hit by Raikou, so that's why I set both. Or I set at least another one. Like, for example, Chariot, I don't mind getting hit by Raikou, right? Because that's a free card, it comes back. Trooper. Now, I think that does put four names in the grave, because the Goroth. Yep. Yeah, I know for sure I at least see Raikou, Celestia, Lila, Goroth. Yeah, he has four names now. Alright, so he has Trooper. What else will he do for his turn? Pot. This shocked me. I did not realize he was playing Pot in his deck. So good thing here is, see, yeah, he's figuring out which one of the Light Sworns he wants to take back. Oh, he had a Jane. He actually had five names. Okay. So not bad. For him at least. It's a pot that still leaves three names in his yard. This is interesting. I have to keep in mind that both JDs are back in his deck now. Yep, we do Prison Trooper. Makes sense. Might as well get rid of the value Trooper can generate as a draw one. I can't see my hand very well. I actually might not even have a GB in hand. That's probably why I haven't summoned an attack. I don't think I have a GB in hand. Or I'm still holding it. Like, there's like a third card in hand. I cannot tell what it is. Oh, so to explain what happened here, it looks like that I'm trying to get him to target the other one. And like, sure, sort of. But like, what he said here is I want to Raikou your new card and targets the old one. And I told him, hey, just to be clear, I don't want to cheat you. This is the new card. The one you just pointed out is the old one. Which one do you want to hit? And he's like, oh, okay, no, I'll hit the new one. And the new one was Dust. So that was a good play for me. But I was just trying to make sure not to screw him. So, and obviously it worked out in my favor. So Raikou into Dust, getting rid of a T-Roar is great. He summons an Aaron. I'm keeping track of his Lightsworn Crown Grave. He already has 4 in Grave again now after the Aluminum Mill. So can't play around G8 G80 anymore. This is an interesting play. Um, I don't agree with the play line, but I get that he was maybe trying to play around a GB that swings over Aaron, I guess. I feel like he should have gone Stardust, but either way, this was a relief for me because I already had Smashing Ground in hand, and I think he's gonna. I was figuring he's gonna equip it. I think my face down might have had an out to at least one of those attacks or one of those summons, but again, knowing that I was Smashing Ground and the way he's probably about to play this, yeah. Yep. Okay, so I believe I bottomless here because I did have a bottomless to stop those plays. But right now, Smashing Ground is gonna like 2 for 1 or basically 3 for 1 because of Plague. So we're just gonna Smashing. And as you saw, the last mill, he milled a JD, so there's one more left in deck, unless he has another pot. Alright, so we'll finally summon a GB. Now, again, I can't tell if that's been in my hand the entire time. It might have been, and I was waiting for Raikou to clear. Um, I'm trying to see if there's anything worth ret TRing. I think he has way too many names engraved, though. So I think we a quest to get back a GB. Because they probably don't have another GB in hand, from what I see. Yep. Yeah, we need the backup GB, in case he does something that outs me, my board. Or he, like, JDs me, right, or something, so. Can't see what the back row is, but Crest plus back row are pretty standard. Looks like he has, what, 3 in hand, maybe? Drawing to 4, I think. So we'll see what he does. Advantage is pretty even this game, but obviously he has JD live, so that's always a little scary. Foolish. He's gonna Foolish Wolf. Let's see if I have an out to this. I can't remember if I did. Nope. Looks like nothing on it. Nothing on summon. Is he gonna Celestia? Maybe Celestia's at least twice this game, I think. I can't remember if he did it here, though. No, did I not to the wall? I remember what I'm doing here. So outside of giving him more things to target, I'm trying to set up a summon 3 into Hierophant, in case he tries to protect Wolf again. Um, Cold Wave was a little concerning. I think I have Dust Tornado down, and I have a Gores in hand, but luckily he ends up wiping the back row here. I notice that he mills an Honest. Yeah, I had a good feeling he'd probably pop the back row if right now he's been scared of it, because that means he thinks the back row was a deep prison. So I think he was going to pop the back row, so that's why I felt comfortable with it. So right now I have Gores. I think I drew Dust Shoot for turn, and I forgot the last card. I think it's just a GB. Maybe it's not. So I believe um, pretty soon I asked him for deck count. I think right here he has about 8 left in deck, if I remember right. Okay, so this one I thought about for a while. I was like, do I take both and then Gores? Um, I opted that I wanted to be at higher life points and only take the honest hit. Um, for two reasons. Because I don't know what's going to happen, and he might just honest swing pass, and then that would feel really bad if I couldn't Gores right now, because I really want to get the scores on the field. The other reason is if he swings both and I'm at 400, I technically die to honest. Anything with honest over attack mode monster. So let's just not do that. Now I do have the dust shoot. I assume he's gonna bounce honest, and he's gonna draw to 4 cards. So the dust shoot at least outs the second honest, at least until he draws it again. So that's our game plan here. So obviously we're not gonna attack Celestia because we know he has honest. And right now there was a miscommunication in life points. He thought I took both hits, and I didn't. I stopped the honest. So this is where I'm telling him, hey, I understand if you thought I took both hits, then if you thought I only took one hit, you would have attacked over the token. So would you like to attack over the token? I wanted to make sure that I'm not screwing him, so I made sure that he could still attack over the token. Because that's what would have happened. He was just confused if I took life on both or not. So he sets two here. And so one of them is Dust Shoot, and the other one is Compulse. Alright, so I look at this hand. Gore's Gardna, Honest Celestia, and he has like 6 cards left in deck, I think. Yeah, the honest puts 7 back in the deck. So I realize now that he still has a JD left in deck, and I'm probably, if he's tributes Celestia for Celestia targets too, I'm probably going to target the Celestia to bounce, but we need to see what he mills. Now I see he milled the JD. He only has 3 cards left in deck. And so because of that, I think the best play is actually just to bounce scores because it means that he can't attack me. If um if JD wasn't milled and he had 3 cards left in deck, I'd just bounce the Celestia because the Gores isn't gonna do anything because I'd be at like JD would be lethal, you know? I'd rather just have an open board for a GB to swing into. But now my plan is definitely on the deck out route. Um, I could obviously not deck him out. Like Gores plus GB in hand is still like really good. Forces him to make a play eventually. But the deck out's putting additional pressure on him. So if he swings, then I'm just gonna start pushing in with Gores plus GB. If he doesn't, then I'm just gonna try to deck him out. This is him really thinking about whether he swings or not because he realizes the predicament that he's in with 3 cards left in deck. I don't remember if he has like a Pot of Avarice left or anything like that. I don't know how many play he plays, so this is just me validating the type of stuff that's in his graveyard. Like if 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 honests are there, Hodamios are there, JDs, there's Necros, if there's all stuff like that. So yeah, Book of Moon, Sam Knight, Run Over. So we still have Gores in hand. Add back Laquari. because we know his hand is just Gore's Necro. So we're super safe right now. The best thing he could draw is Honest. Um, but again, I mean, like, no, Honest doesn't do anything. 'Cause he doesn't have a life monster. So, Honest is not a draw that does anything. So, all right. So we drew another GB because we grabbed the Laquari last turn. So we're gonna summon Bestie and Swing Swing because if he gores us, I can disguise Risk. All right. All right. So I'm trying to think about what kind of value I can get off these GBs. I think I'll go Darius. Yeah, Darius. Because at least I can Geyser us with another GB on board. So if he drew Honest last turn, his next best draw is to draw like a light monster. But still, it would need to be a light monster that ideally can run over both of these guys. So now that I know he set a back row and set a monster, I know for sure either there's a Necro Garden in hand or there's a Necro Garden face down. All I know for sure is it's like there's like I should be good. Because I'm just gonna Harakunos in defense mode now. Um, even if he off the top of his deck draws and flips Raikou to destroy Harakunos, I have Gores, and he can't kill me this turn. So it should just be game over. If it's not Raikou, then he can't like beckoning me if it's a beckoning because I haven't seen beckoning all game. And yeah, he scoops. And there was no reason to have the Hurricane attack mode because just additional damage with Honest, right? So obviously, if he wasn't about to deck out, I think I could have fairly easily at that point probably controlled the game, not by trying to deck him out, but like he has one card in deck. We might as well just play for deck out and not risk anything. So in this matchup, um, siding in stuff like my Secutor, my third Tiger, um, third War Chariot. I'm gonna side an Ancient Forest for the Raikos. Um, I'm probably siding in like a couple trap holes because there's a lot of cards in Lightsworn that card hits. Um, I sided out a lot of my spell trap removal. I think I left like maybe like an MST and a Dustin because I don't know if he like sides oppression or not. Some Lightsworn decks do that, some don't. But if they don't side oppression, then I don't want all of that back row removal in. So and I'm up a game, so I can afford to have some back row removal missing. And if I see oppression, I'll just side it in game three. All right, Min's gonna start us off. Going first, game three. Lila 2 pass, okay. Two names engraved. Ideally I can run over this Lila. I can't fully see what the hand is though. So the alternative is to maybe set a bunch of back row that he can't, that will either force Chariot or hopefully Lila misses like a good one and turns itself into defense, or Lila will just attack over a quest. We're going this route because I don't believe that he sides Royal Decree, and honestly, if he does, it's usually not too hard for a GB deck to eventually pop Royal Decree, so I'm just not a little stressed about it. Obviously, heavy could happen. Um, I don't know if I have an out to heavy face down. I definitely might, but I think I needed the diversity of cards face down. So here, most people I thought too thought also thought that you could trap hole an Arcus because I thought it didn't target, right? Because every other trap hole in the game targets bottomless, time space. Most of the other trap holes, or sorry, no, most trap holes don't target, is what I meant to say. Turns out trap hole does target, so I learned that this game. Um, so and then he was showing me that I guess the new printing of trap hole does specify it. All the old trap holes didn't, so. I recently swapped out my old trap holes for new ones, so. But regardless, at this point, we were checking the rulings just to make sure that during Edison it didn't target or something like that. So this is where I'm getting clarification from the judges. I was like, is the trap hole burned? Are we just resetting it, the game state, because it was an illegal play? And he said, yeah, it's just a warning or something like that. They're just figuring out, but yeah. And I'm not concerned because I know regardless, I have Mirror Force face down still. And I think I had a War Chariot to stop like a Lila target the face down Mirror Force if he got lucky with his targets or something. So but yeah, this is me just super confirming with them. Like they're confirming like, all right, am I just resetting this game state? I think they're still looking up the ruling to be sure. Yep, we have Mirror Force. All right, so we're gonna swing in for 16. No tag, and he does play oppression. You can see on the screen they minus their own person's life points, but they fix it eventually. At the point, he hasn't played heavy, so I feel comfortable setting on their back row. All right, cool. Oh, I have Solemn. That's fair. It's also probably why I said the back row, right? So, yeah, they have the life super wrong, but they eventually come over and fix it. Yeah, so Ancient Forest, Raikou. This is great. It blanks Raikou's flip effect. Ancient Forest plus Oppression leaves like a stun lock on the field too, because like, sure, Oppression makes it so I can't attack and tag, or else my guy dies, but Ancient Forest makes it so they can't attack, or else their guy dies. So it's at least puts your opponent in as annoying of a situation as Oppression puts me in, so it's pretty nice. Especially while I'm not drawing a GB right now. So it passes. Now if I get a GB, I'm definitely summoning it. We're not attacking because we don't want it to die. And I assume we have Chariot. So we want Chariot live. I think I have two Chariot face down. So we want to utilize the Chariot before I start attacking with the GBs. So we all know like there's eventually like a Celestia coming, and that might be a Raikou, and I wouldn't want to attack it into like a Necro Gardener or something. And just have my GB die in the battle phase or be forced to tag or something. So Lumina Summon's fine. I have Trap Hole, but like, why am I afraid of a Lumina Summon when he has a Freshen Up? So we're not going to Trap Hole. Eventually they'll fix this life points. I think this is where they fix the life points. I'm like, yeah, I'm at 4,000. Okay, he Lumina's passed, so it's a good chance he'll do it again. I'm just gonna wait. And yeah, me personally, I'm especially heavy on, like, I'm willing to just sit here. Sure, he could eventually cold wave me, but like out here, I'm just trying to draw either one of the couple outs left in my deck to oppression. Okay, so it's not clear that he attacked here, but you can tell by the honest that was an attack. He verbalized the attack to me, so he attacked with Lumina and honest, so I war charioted. So basically, I was able to 2-for-1, which is nice. And so he did that to try to force off war chariot and Celestia here. Luckily for me, I have two war chariots, so we get to blow out the play line, which is nice. It clears up guys on his board and makes it more likely that I can swing in for damage and tag out to burn. So we're gonna try it. Now, if I draw a second GB, I probably just summon attack, tag, 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 attack, attack, tag, tag. So I don't think I have another war chariot now. Some other back rows are live without GBs, but I don't think I drew a GB. So I still might attack with the Quarry though, just to get whatever that monster is off the field and then burn him 800. This is where I'm beginning to think if that strategy is viable. Burning him out, the repression. Because I have cited out so much spell trap removal, like, we're going with that route. So yep, we'll tag. At least adds another guy to my deck. And he goes to 4K also. See, it looks like I drew another War Chariot. Green ground, that works. Macquarie. Yeah, I don't know why he's not drawing or playing any Light Sworns. He just must not be drawing them. But I mean, I have a bunch of outs to Light Sworns. Like obviously Trap Hole, everybody knows already now. So I think I don't attack this turn because I just had a War Chariot. Or no, maybe I do because there's Necro. Ah, okay. A special tiger. Yes, we're on the burn plan. We're gonna see if he does something. So I'm gonna force him to lose 800. And yeah, now he's getting in low range, so I'm just gonna go for it. Because the Laquari hit plus a tag is 26. That puts him at 600, and it turns off oppression for him. So it's worth it for me, even though I don't have another GB in hand. A one-sided oppression sounds pretty good. So he has a monster here. I believe I misplayed here, actually. I should just be able to pretty much end the game right here. I could have War Charioted the Necrogardener, and one of my tags would go through, but so be it. It's fine. So the Laquari doesn't die, because it was necroed and the attack was negated, but the Quest was gonna die, so I tagged it. So now if I attack with Laquari, he cannot negate with oppression, the tag. I drew another GB here, and we're gonna go for the game swing. I'm not worried about mirror or TT. We're already on the plan of we're trying to burn through oppression, so. Oh, and I had a Starlight Road face down, I guess. Sure, oppression can negate, but it's at least another 800, so. Yeah, and that's the match. So yeah, very interesting end of the game, obviously, right? Both games are super interesting, I guess, right? So one was by deck out, and one was through an oppression ancient forest lock. I just tagged GBs until oppression burned them out. Um, Sometimes you gotta do it like that, though. It's a very viable strategy because when you think about it, every GB is hitting for 800 more than what its attack is whenever they oppression. So sometimes that's just the best route. And when you're playing a deck that has so much one-for-one removal traps, as long as you don't have traps face down that rely having a GB on field, it's not a bad idea because you at least still have stuff that's removing their stuff. So yeah, sometimes that's the move when you just don't have all your right back removal. And obviously it looks like it can win you games, or apparently an RBET. Um, but yeah, so yeah, this was the final round. Um, I hope everybody liked it. Um, and uh, and yeah, unfortunately, there's no more of these VODs for me to go over, but I do plan on doing some coverage of dueling book replays. And those should be pretty nice because I can like pause at certain points too. So I hope you guys like it. Besides that, I hope everybody has a good week.